Welcome to Exploring the D-Rob. Let's go. Welcome back up in Red River Gorge this morning. Gonna meet up with my buddy Dave and Stella. Gonna go check out Tarr Ridge East. Coming through the Nada Tunnel, the gateway to adventure. To get to parking for Tarr Ridge East from the Mountain Parkway, you want to follow signage for the Nada Tunnel. Take Highway 15 around to Highway 77. Once you're on Highway 77, follow around through the Nada Tunnel. Follow it for approximately, say 3 to 4 miles to where 77 meets 715. Whenever 77 meets 715, you want to stay to the left, go uphill, and once we reach the top of the hill, we'll find parking for Tarr Ridge East. Nice and foggy up here around the river this morning. Hopefully that'll stick around for a little while. As you'll see, we're approaching the 715 split here. We'll stay left on 77. Go uphill here to the top of Tarr Ridge. As we start to reach the top of the hill here, we're going to be able to pull off on the right next to Red River Gorge geological sign. This looks familiar to you from my Short Hikes 4. This is the same area we parked in there. This is parking for Tarr Ridge East. From parking, you'll want to follow the trail that leads into the woods right by the Red River Gorge geological area sign. We'll follow this trail most of the way out Tarr Ridge East. At approximately 6/10 of a mile from parking, you'll come up on the user trail that'll lead us out to Tarr Ridge East Overlook 1. You'll see I've listed coordinates for the large campsite about halfway out the trail, as well as Tarr Ridge East Overlook 1. If you see anything in this video that says TREO, that's just an abbreviation for Tarr Ridge East Overlook. From Tarr Ridge East Overlook 1, you can look over, and this is Tarr Ridge East Overlook 2. That's the next stop. over a mile in, you'll have to work around this big down tree. Hasn't been down too long. Right after you come to this large campsite past Tarr Ridge East Overlook 1 on the main trail, points past this is where the trail is less traveled and starts to get narrower, and you encounter more mountain laurel and underbrush. Here's a good example of how thick the trail can get as you come through some mountain laurel. Looking at the map, you would think that this long ridge would lead out to another overlook, so we came across a user trail and decided to check it out. Upon investigation, the very end of the ridge just turns into a wooded area where you could likely make your way back down towards the road instead of coming to a rock outcrop. On the south side of the ridge, however, there is a small rock outcrop that looks over to Tarr Ridge East Overlook number 2. A little bonus overlook we came across. I guess you could call this Tarr Ridge East Overlook 1.5 as it looks over at Tarr Ridge East Overlook 2. At just over a mile in the Tarr Ridge East trail, you'll come across a campsite literally right in the edge of the trail. If you look, you can see a trail cutting off the back of the campsite. You want to follow that trail out, it'll bring you out on a rock outcrop. This is where you'll find Tarr Ridge East Overlook 2. As you come out on the rock outcrop for Tarr Ridge East Overlook 2, there is a little bit of a scramble down here at the end of it. Nothing major, but it's probably easiest to do a little butt slide down here. As you'll notice, as you get further away from parking, the less worn the trail is. On this trip, decided to skip Tarr Ridge East Overlook 3. I've left coordinates for where the trail begins and where the overlook is. If you notice an area circled in red there's a scramble there. It takes a little bit of effort to get up to where the actual overlook is. Once you get out to the overlook, the western view of the overlook is mostly obstructed by trees, so the real only overlook you get kind of faces south, similar to the Tarr Ridge East Overlook 1.5. So that's why we skipped this. Just wasn't really worth the effort of getting out there, but I've left coordinates if you ever decide you want to check it out. As you get out close towards the end of the ridge, you'll come down to a narrow saddle where you can see off each side. This is where you actually cross over top of Rango Arch. We'll get to that in a minute. But as you cross across the saddle, you'll come up to the scramble that'll take you out to Tarr Ridge East Overlook 4. As you work your way across the saddle that crosses above Rango Arch, you'll come up to this scramble. This is what you'll have to go up to get out to Tarr Ridge East Overlook 4, Jennifer's Overlook. This is the part that's probably not going to be for everybody. You know your limits, how good you can get around. Just use your best judgment and be safe. When working your way up here, this tree is your friend, along with a little small piece of rope to get up this scramble. A look out from on top of Duncan Wolfpen Arch. look down into Duncan Wolf Pen Arch. You may have noticed what looks like wooden boxes down inside the arch. Those are remains from a failed attempt to reintroduce peregrine falcons into the area years ago. A couple years ago, Kurt Gilchrist organized a group of folks to come out and remove the large green PVC pipes that led down to the boxes, but we were unable to get the boxes out of the arch because it would require repelling equipment, and we wasn't prepared for a task like that day. So as of right now, they are still in the arch. Tarr Ridge East Overlook 4, also known as Jennifer's Overlook. One of the best views in Red River Gorge. If you come over to the right of the main overlook, you have a view of Tarr Ridge West and Ravens Rock. Currently, for the last overlook, the scramble up, there is currently a rope tied to the tree. And as you look down there, you kind of get an idea of how far down it is to the base of this little scramble. As you can see Dave and Stella working their way down. As you work your way back across the saddle, opposite of the scramble for Tarr Ridge East Overlook 4, you should be able to make out a faint user trail that cuts down to the left. This is the Rango Arch trail that you'll want to follow to get you down to Rango Arch. If you opt to go to Rango Arch, you can pick up the faint user trail. Heads down towards the cliff line. The more worn user trail goes down to an old tree. The best route in my opinion is to work your way out to the end of the cliff line, come down, then come back below this cliff line here. The more worn user trail follows down right here, comes down to this old piece of rotted hemlock. If you feel like that's a safe route down for you, go for it. I personally prefer to just go to the end of the rock shelter and up and down. To get on down to the level where Rango Arch is, you'll want to follow your way out the edge of the saddle out through here, following along the cliff line. It's a really nice cliff line, got a lot of nice color in the sandstone, a lot of nice geology. Roughly halfway out the cliff line here, you'll see this small chute down with a tree root making a little arch there. That's where you want to work your way down, make it down to Rango Arch. After you make your way down the little scramble, follow the cliff line down to your right. And after a short distance, you'll come across Rango Arch. Stella out enjoying her day at Rango Arch. nice big rock shelter here at Rango Arch. Don't be like somebody was and have a fire here. Got a nice big black spot on the rock. What an eyesore. This is a really nice area though. Just be sure to take care of it if you visit. When you come to areas like this, always be sure to leave no trace. Leave it as good or better than you found it. To get back out of here, just come back to this side of the arch, work your way back up the cliff line and back to the Tarr Ridge East trail. Random stick bug. Don't see these very often.
Compared to you, you've been 1,000 places more than he has.
You're on video, puppy. Always the sad part of the day when the adventure's over. You gotta head back through the native tunnel, back out into the real world. Hope you enjoyed today's adventure. Tarr Ridge East. Got to see some of the nicer overlooks in the gorge. Got to see a couple arches that are lesser known. Just keep in mind if you head out there for this hike that it's all user-created trails. Some parts is off-trail where there's little to no trail at all. Several scrambles. Some of them's not going to be for everybody, like especially the one out towards the end, towards the fourth overlook. That's you got to have some upper body strength and be able to scramble around a little bit. Definitely worth checking out if you're able. Some parts of the hike's a whole lot easier to get to than others, especially that first overlook. You may recognize it from my short hikes video number 4. But may try to hit the area again this fall when the leaves go to changing. About a month away. Can't wait for it to get here. If you enjoyed today's video, if you would, be sure to give me a like. If you enjoy the content of my channel, if you haven't already, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.